Chapter 2. What is NLP? NLP is an attitude and a methodology that leaves behind a trail of techniques. Richard Bandler.
Now, I'm sure you're really curious about what NLP is and what it can do for you. Am I right? And I assume because you're reading this book, you want to discover for yourself what all the talk has been about. Well, that's good. Well, for me, I was fascinated by the work of Tony Robbins way back in 1987. I was curious and wanted to understand the processes, methods, and especially the attitude that he had learned using NLP. So I went on a quest to discover what it was and how I could benefit from the technology. People come to NLP for many different reasons, seeking to clear up emotional issues, to become better salespeople, wanting to achieve their goals, taking life to a much higher level, or simply learning to get out of their own way. Whatever the reason you're exploring NLP, stay committed and do the exercises. You'll find your life moving fast forward in the right direction. You'll be more emotionally in control and gain the ability to make better decisions and discover a clear path to achieving your passions. So what is this amazing technology? Well, let me give you some definitions that you may have heard or found on the web. Richard Bandler, one of the co-developers, said, NLP is an attitude and methodology that leaves behind a trail of techniques. One of my instructors, Robert Dilt, said, NLP describes the fundamental dynamics between mind, neuro, and language, linguistics, and how their interplay affects our body and behavior, the programming. And another one of my instructors, Tim Halblum, NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming, is the practical science of detecting, evolving, and using the conscious and unconscious thinking and behavioral patterns that we are constantly experiencing. So what does NLP stand for? Neuro. We have a mind-body system that has been programmed and can be reprogrammed, much in the same way that we can program and reprogram our computer software. This is made up of our nervous systems, which enable us to breathe, eat, think, live, and function daily. Linguistics, the language, verbal and nonverbal, and symbols we use to operate our neurology in the same manner we communicate to ourselves internally and externally and with other people. Programming, the programs or strategies, or as I like to call them, recipes, we utilize to consistently produce our results. Some of these programs are hardwired from birth, and others we learn growing up, the conditioning part. This is called our neurology. NLP is a model of human functioning, and it takes a very different attitude from traditional psychologies of the past. With NLP, we don't start with the assumption that people are broken and need to be fixed. Instead, with the attitude of NLP, we assume the opposite is true, that people work perfectly well and they have all the resources they need to succeed. The only problem isn't with them, but with their programming. When you combine the mind-body systems together, the linguistics of how we communicate with our neurology, we now have a spectacular human bioelectrical computer. And the best part is that it's completely programmable. Think of it this way. Let's say you had an antiquated software program on your computer. You'd have to update that program, wouldn't you? Well, the same holds true for software of our minds. The majority of our programs are usually downloaded onto our little hard drives by the time we're 8 or 10 years old. 85% of our attitudes and personality have been instilled in us by the time we reach second grade. 95% by the age of 18 to 21. You are who you are by the time you graduate high school. After that, most of us stop learning and growing mentally. If your computer was like this, you'd never be able to keep up within our digital world. You'd be using software that no longer would function in society, like many individuals we meet. NLP allows us the opportunity to change or enhance, even add programs into our neurology. In the past, the ability to change or enhance has always been a source of frustration for most people. The unconscious mind, which runs 90% of what we do, is consistently looking out for what can harm the body. So, with that as the prime directive, we're more conditioned to move away from situations that may provide pain rather than move us toward opportunities that would bring us pleasure or reward. NLP can be considered an offshoot of cognitive sciences and cognitive behavioral psychology. It grew out of general semantics, a gentleman by the name of Korzybski, transformational grammar, Noam Chomsky, anthropology and cybernetics, Gregory Bateson, reframing, family systems, Virginia Satir, Gestalt therapy, Fritz Perls, and medical hypnosis, Milton Erickson, and several other major related studies. This is the most respectable body of knowledge from which NLP arose. All NLP was founded on two fundamental presuppositions. Number one, the map is not the territory. We can never know reality, only our perceptions of reality. It is our neuro-linguistic maps of reality that determine how we behave that give us those behavioral meanings, not reality itself. It is generally not reality that limits us or empowers us, but rather our map of reality. And number two, mind and body are systemic processes. Our bodies, our communities, and our universe all form an ecology of complex systems and subsystems, all of which interact with and mutually influence each other. It's not possible to completely isolate any part of the system from the rest of the system. People arrive at NLP with many different issues and goals in mind. Most of them are some sort of change, let's say to better their lives or eliminate something that's holding them back. It may be some kind of fear, phobia, a bad habit, or past event that troubles them. On the flip side of this coin, what if you already had a great strategy for learning, developing relationships, staying fit and healthy, or creating financial abundance for yourself? Wouldn't it be great if you had the ability to duplicate this in other areas of your life? Maybe even teach to others? Of course it would be. Well, within these pages of this book, you're going to be able to read and interpret verbal and nonverbal information accurately. Notice how people process their internal world, why people behave in the ways they do, how to quickly and easily obtain rapport and gain trust, how to elicit someone's values and beliefs, change emotional states of mind using anchors, read and gain insight into deceitful information, use the sound of your voice to influence and persuade others, listen more effectively to the language of others, and 10, most importantly, become a master communicator. So then our goal with NLP is to create the richest map possible that respects the fundamental nature and ecology of who we are and the world we live in. The individuals who are most successful are those who have enriched their maps, allowing them to gain the greatest number of perspectives and choices available. Okay, let's move on.